Hello, Eric. Could you tell something about passive and active? You talk sometimes that some part of the body stay passive. I think where the part of the body that had more tension, or another part becomes active. If you could tell something more about it, please.
Of course, the body is the globality. The body is oneness. So an actual movement should be done with the whole body. Whether you caress your cat, you make clothes, you run, you fight, or you play tennis. It's not a movement of the arm. It's not a kick of the elbow. It's the whole body do the movement. So power and body and functionality can only come in globality. But practically speaking, the body is, for most people, just a mass of tension. So they cannot have this global feeling. Because when they do a slight movement, the whole body compensates this movement to survive. But because of that, the first years in the yoga, we dissociate movement. I mean, I'm going to ask you, I said, when you move your arm, the finger draw a line in space, and be very careful the shoulders don't participate. My shoulders stay down. So it's not true, because actually when I move the arm, my whole body participates, including the shoulder, but not in the way that it is done in a mechanical way. It is done in a global way. So before we do the global way, you must explore, you must limit at the maximum the compensation. So we try to do a movement to isolate the movement from other parts of the body. Of course, it is a kind of fantasy, because it's not true. Your whole body is affected by anything. You hurt your nose on the window, and your whole body actually is hurt by the window, because the body is oneness. But technically speaking, we try to dissociate the movement, so to reduce the activity of the muscle. We do that because, as we said, the nature of the body is emptiness. So when your body is healthy, you don't feel your body. If you feel your heart, you must see a cardiologist. If you feel your tooth, you must see a dentist. But normally when you wake up in the morning, you feel nothing. When you feel nothing, the body is the case, the resonance is an antenna for the whole surrounding. You feel the surrounding. Most people, the body has become an art of surviving. The muscle, the density, the clothes yourself, which again may be functional. If you do martial art, you always protect the front line because all the little points are there. You don't do martial art with an open chest or high chin, so you protect. But psychologically, we're always protecting ourselves, and all these are create kind of a dense body of defense. So to explore that, we dissociate that. We do a movement with only little part moving. So if the body moves in a minimal way, all the toxins created by the muscular activity are eliminated by the liver and by the kidney in a functional way, in a way that you don't feel anything. If you raise your arm in a physical way, several times, in a muscular way, tomorrow morning you're going to feel some residue in the shoulder. That's a toxin, because you have created too much toxin for the natural elimination. So when we do a movement with feeling, the toxin created are eliminated without us feeling it. When the movement is done not in a clear way, not in a functional way, there is an extra amount of toxin which are created, which you feel at the curvature in the morning. You feel the lower back, you feel the shoulder. So in order not to create this toxin, we do this movement in a very slow way and locally. But this we must challenge constantly. Like one day I will cut the space with my fingertips. Another day I will draw a line on the wall. Another day I feel the water rising up my arm. Another day I feel the resistance of the space to my arm. Another day I feel a move from my hips. Another day I must constantly find new way, up to the point the movement comes really empty. And then when it comes empty, slowly, I could have, if you look at me, only the arm move, but I feel it in my whole body move. Then it's a real movement. If you caress the cat, you see only my arm move, no, actually my whole body carries the cat, and so on and so on. So we go from the functional localization to a global feeling. That's a technique, and that takes the time it takes. So there's no contradiction. At the beginning, we must be very specific, but then it's not true, because there's no arm, there's no legs, there's only oneness. But for pedagogical reason, we try to cut the body in part in a way. This morning we said there's lower part of the body, the other part of the body. Of course, it's ridiculous, but it means something. And by exploring it, you'll see that it is ridiculous, but it is not ridiculous. And one day you see why we used it. We use this image to come to a kind of inner feeling. That's why the technique is always in contradiction, or very often in contradiction with theory. Because in theory it's like that, but practically no, we don't function like that. So that's why intellectual cannot practice, because they will say, but the body is oneness. What you localize your arm? We localize the arm because there's too many compensation. Later on, yes, the movement is global, and then that's why first we go very slow, but it's not true. Then later on we go very fast, because like driving a car, you begin to drive slowly, and then you acknowledge capacity, and then you can drive very fast. And in yoga, we move very slowly for a long time, up to the body free itself of identification. Then the movement will become very fast, going in the position and coming back even faster, as in martial art. So no energy is dispersed. But when the body is free, when the body don't react, if you do it fast, when the body is in tension, it creates a disaster. So even the low speed is not actually part of the technique. It's a pedagogical tool which we use for a long time for some people. It depends on your age, it depends when you begin, it depends on your body structure. Some people will always be slow. Have young students, the movement, they go very fast in it. But when the body does not resist anymore. So all the technical part, there's something which are all kind of layers, and what is true today, tomorrow we work in a different way, and so on. There's no one way to work. Kashmir yoga does not exist. It's something. It's an openness towards something, but always going to unfold. Might be creative, might be original, might be of the moment, and that's why it's for creative people. The way, because every day, even if you do the same movement, you experiment it in a different way. Every day you touch your wife or your cat, it's a new wife, it's a new cat. If you said, I know my wife, I know my cat, it's finished, the relation is finished. But you guys, the same thing. You must have this creativity of constantly realizing that every time you move your arm, it is the first time, it is the last time. And then the software is extraordinary. So you don't need to do an immense number of positions, but it's how you do it which is important. Then the rest, depending on your abilities, which is slightly irrelevant. It is the quality which is important. So the technicity is something which you constantly question. What is true today is put into question tomorrow.
Thank you.